Hello, everybody. Rochelle Osborne here, Emerald Ambassador with my super sweet friend, Elizabeth. And tonight we want to talk to you about just 4 basic concepts, but that are super, super important. So we hope we add some value to you. We want to talk about emotional maturity. We want to talk about belief. We want to talk about leadership, and we want to talk about momentum. And Elizabeth is going to start us out.
Hello, Elizabeth Heffner, Ruby Ambassador, and I'm so excited to share with you. So something that the Lord has been working on me for a lot of years, to be honest, and through different situations and things, is emotional maturity. So it was really fun to hear Helen McFadden talking about this at Leaders Retreat as well. So I wanted to share just some things that I've been learning over the last couple of years, really since I started Plexus. So, I mean, obviously I was learning before then, but Plexus entering my life at the time that it did was totally the Lord helping me to see things from different perspectives and to really be okay with more of like a personal growth journey, because before that it was like, well, I'm a PT, I was in school, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I just need to read my Bible. That's all I need to know, which yes, is so important and definitely our groundwork and our framework and that is our foundation for sure. In fact, I did that video on, when we get off-centered, our center of gravity is off, and that's when our foundation is slipping. So anyway, along that lines is just really thinking about how we are, because so many more people are watching than we even think. So people at work are watching, and I try really hard to just have a positive attitude at my job, because they're watching me, and they're watching me in my job because they're also watching me on Facebook with me promoting about all these awesome things that I'm doing. And I want to be the same person in my virtual world as I am in my real world. And just like our children are watching, they're watching these things, and I'm always like, if you want to know how you're acting towards your children, then just watch how your children are acting towards one another. And it's huge eye-opening. I'm like, Ella, just be gentle with how you're speaking to Emmeline. And then like next thing I know, I'm like, Ella, just da-da-da, like, no. Like, we have to be hold ourselves accountable first. So my team is watching me. My children are watching me. My coworkers are watching me. And so that is so, so important to remember throughout our lives. I want to be the same person that I say I am. I want to actually live that out. And so we also want to keep track of our joy. Comparison is a thief of joy. So we aren't comparing ourselves and our progress and our success to others. I have this journey, and my journey is where God has me, and the people that I'm helping through Plexus, the products, the opportunity, are who God has me set out to help. And so that is something that I can be joyful about, and that is amazing. And this is such a huge opportunity that I have, and I am excited that I get to do this. I have the privilege of helping people. I have the privilege of sharing something amazing. Along that being said, something that I'm also really learning is a balance of self-care. So we don't want to get wrapped up in, well, I need to do self-care today. I need to do self-care today. I need to do self-care today. So we don't feed the kids. We don't wash the dishes. We don't get off the couch. We don't do our IPA. We don't help our team. We don't watch a video. No, it's not that. It's doing something through our day, maybe once or twice, if whatever works for you, to make sure that we're staying on track and that we're making sure we're taking a break from some of the craziness or some of the pressures in order to then come back refreshed and be able to move forward and handle them. So I was just talking to a friend at work, and he was saying how they have 3 little kids. He and his wife is also in the medical profession. And he was just saying, like, she is just feeling so like bogged down after having all these kids, in the last few years, and then working and all. She's like, all I do is go to work and come home and take care of kids and clean. And I'm like, I know, and we talked about and he said, It's like you need to do something every day that's going to recharge you in order to be efficient in these things. And I'm like, you are absolutely right, because I just went on a cruise for a week and it was amazing. But I need to also make sure that I'm filling myself up through the week and through the days, so that I don't need 3-week-long vacations every 3 months, because that's not real life. So having that self-care every day and making sure then that we are moving forward from that, not staying stuck there. Controlling our emotions. I have been working on this since my oldest, who is a girl, a daughter, really heavily since she was like 3. Like, of course I was working on it before. My husband was really good in helping me see and grow in this area. He's so patient. He's so patient and so loyal. So he was very willing to like be patient with me through my emotional craziness. But then my daughter, I remember we were baking like cookies. This is pre-Plexus, and she's like, but I just want to eat all the chocolate chips right now. I want what I want right now. I mean, she's saying these words and I'm like, I know that's called sin. We don't get what we want just because we want it right now. There's a time for it, and some things are not healthy for us to have. And so learning to say no and learning to control our emotions and learning to say no to ourselves when we need to in order to be efficient and productive in our lives and in our business. So anyway, just remember, working our businesses with happiness and with joy. So if we just went through a super stressful situation, like if I have a really stressful moment at work, I'm going to come home and I'm going to calm down and I'm going to call my mom on the way home, and I'm going to, talk to my husband, like, oh my gosh, because he is very good about, husbands tend to want to fix, oh, if she's telling me this story, I need to fix it. I need to tell her what to do. And he's learned. He's like, okay, I just need to listen. I'm going to be a good listener, so that's really good. And talk through that so that I can return to who I am and move forward before I, do the business stuff. And just being patient with ourselves, with others, with our family, with this process, because we all have our own stories. We all have our own business pattern. We're all going to have our own growth of our businesses, and it's awesome and it's great. Couple other things are just really learning to deal with conflict. So, for example, if I'm like, okay, this kid is going to want the cookies before dinner. So what do I do? Like, I can go, you know what? Take them. I don't care. Because it's easier to go, I'm not even going to say no from the get-go. Because if I say no, I have to back up the no, and I have to continue to say no until it's time. Or I can say, here you go. Have at it. Here's your cookies. Like, here's 3, whatever. Just eat them. I don't care. Go outside, play around. Go burn it off, kid, right? But kind of deciding ahead of time, how can I deal with this conflict? How do I want to deal with this conflict? And that way I'm in control of the conflict. I'm in control of my emotions through the situation. I'm in control of how I want to handle it. I can prevent conflict this way. Okay, this thing just happened with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. I know that this could tend to be a stressful situation. So what can I do to control the conflict instead of the conflict tumbling down on me? So can I call somebody? Can I connect with them on the phone? Can I send him a quick message? Like, what can I do to control that and not let it come bombarding down on me? So rechecking where we are. Okay. Where is my head in the game? Where's my heart in the game? Where does it need to be? What can I do to fix that? We're going to do that every day. We're going to do that every day, see where we need to be, move forward. And then lastly, I really wanted to touch on like boundaries. So setting this up for our team, and then that way our team knows too how they can be productive. So one of the recent things that I did within the last couple months is I made a little graphic of my call times that I'm available. Kind of around my work schedule, kind of around, okay, I know that this is family time every day, so we're not going to do calls then. Making myself really available. Like I have Tuesday, I'm available from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. you call me anytime, but on a schedule. Like I've been telling my team this week, okay, look at my call schedule. Tell me when you can fit in. Tell me what slot that you want. Which is super awesome, because then it's helping me have a boundary, but it's still being very available and wanting to work with my team. And then that's going to help them do the same and then pass that down. And then when I'm like, okay, I really need to get on a call with so-and-so, instead of me trying to remember her work schedule and which day she works and this kid thing and that kid thing of hers, if I have her call schedule and my call schedule, boom, there we go. There's a perfect slot. So that's super awesome. That's just one example of a boundary, but also setting aside time for family. So at the beginning of this school year, I'm like, yeah, I can do a call at 4:15. Well, my kids get off the bus at 4, and it was a train wreck. It was awful. It was super stressful. Then I'm upset with the kids because obviously they want attention. My husband doesn't get home until a couple hours later, so I can't just pass it off to him. And so it was like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this to my kids. I have time all these other times. I can talk after kids are settled in the evening and my husband is home. I can talk early in the morning. I can talk at lunchtime. I have all these other times available. I just can't do this to my family. So really protecting family time is super important. And we want our team to do the same. We want them to have that boundary to feel comfortable with saying, okay, these are protected times for me. And then making that time also for our spouses, if you're married, because, that is super important too. They get sick of seeing the glow on the phone on us. Like that's the lighting they see us in. So really being careful of that too. Yes. Okay. I'm just checking a couple of things and making sure I don't. Oh, this is super important. So we can't control what others do. They're free to make their own choices, but we are in control of how we react to that and how we support our people. How we react and how we support them is super important. So anyway, these are just amazing things that I've been working on and that tend to resurface. And so I obviously still have work to do, which is fine. It's great. And I'm thankful that I have a gracious team that loves me and is willing to be patient with me too. So.
Oh, I know. I think that we're all being worked on at different whatever's in our lives. You know what I mean? So it's so good to, have that team that loves us for who we are. So I love just talking about emotional maturity, and it's so important to remember to stay on an even keel. I remember seeing, it was probably at my first convention, I think, they said, do not ride the emotional roller coaster. You're excited one day because, oh my gosh, I got a new join. This is so exciting. And then the next day, well, dang it, this person's just ignoring me, or, whatever it might be. Like, do not go up and down. Just stay very stable and very solid in your business. It's really, really important to not let your emotions ride over you and control you. And that's not just in our Plexus businesses. That is just in our life, right? Like, it's really important. But yeah, I totally agree with you on the protected family time. It's really, really important. And I know Elizabeth's time, 4 to 9, there's no calls, unless we can fit something in here and there fast, but we know that we can just jump on fast, jump off fast, and we can talk to our kids if we're on the phone with each other. But you can't do that with everybody. So you do have to set your boundaries, and it's really important. Like, my protected time is Saturday night, date night, no phones, no kids. It's my honey and I's time, period. This is what's happening. Okay. And we will just sit on the couch and watch Hawaii 5-0, but it is our time. We're not going anywhere necessarily. We have 7 kids here, but it is definitely our protected time. But yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about belief and leadership and momentum. So some of the things that I just want to touch on really fast is belief. So first of all, if you want to be successful in this business, you have to have belief, and you have to have belief in yourself. You have to have belief in the business, this incredible opportunity. You have to have belief in these products, which are amazing, super high quality, and just nothing like it on the market. Gut health is everything. And it all starts with that. And we definitely have the best gut health products from anywhere. And then just the company as a whole, like network marketing as a whole, like more and more things are going to click and order. Like it's not like stores are being closed down, like Sears, Toys R Us, it's kind of sad, but these companies are going out of business because people like Amazon Prime and Uber. Like this is where the world is going, and people are on social media. So network marketing is truly where we need to be looking. So you have to have that belief. And so when you have that belief, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. So it all starts within our mind. And so I don't want to get too deep into all of this because I know we've made different videos at different times about some of this stuff before, but our minds are very powerful. And if we do not harness our thinking, the power of positive thinking, we can see a downward spiral in not just our businesses, but in our lives. So you really have to focus on keeping a positive mindset. We just went through a miscarriage with our baby number 8, and we've never had a miscarriage before. And I tell you, I don't know if I would have gone through this like a few years ago, I don't know if I would be this strong as where I'm at now. And this is not just because of me. This is because of God, first and foremost, but a lot of it has come from what I have learned in this Plexus business with the personal development. And it's just super, super important. So when we talk about that emotional maturity, personal development is like, it's key. Like it has to happen. It's a must. Okay. It's okay to have negative emotions. We're going to have negative emotions. It's going to happen. It's life, right? It's just part of life, but we cannot let those things drive us or bring us down. We have to constantly focus on the positives. So, leadership. Who is the leader of your team? You both raised your hand at the same time. Yes, we are the leaders of our team. So my upline is not responsible for my team. I am not responsible for everything. Like we all have our own names on our own paychecks. Like we are responsible for our businesses. We are responsible for our teams. And it's important to take note of that and to make sure that we are having those healthy habits. More is caught rather than taught. So what we do by leading by example, just like Elizabeth talked about in the beginning, when we are doing whatever it is that we're doing in our homes, our children are watching. When we're doing whatever it is that we're doing in our businesses, our teams are watching. And so you are going to teach more by your actions than by your words. Actions speak louder than words, right? So, I can say, well, I want to do this, but if I'm not doing the actual things, then it doesn't really matter. We can say whatever we want, but we have to put the action in. Okay. So that's where you have your intentional IPA that you're doing daily. So consistent daily work is what will give you those massive results. Okay. Creating momentum. So momentum starts with you. Like you have a circle and you have a little dot, and that's you. You focus on you. You cannot, it's like Elizabeth said before, we cannot control what other people are doing. We don't have any control over that. We can influence people. We can influence their decisions. We can give them our product knowledge that we have. We can give them our business knowledge. But we cannot control what they do and do not do with that information. They are free to make their own choices. And so we have to be okay with whatever those choices are that they make. But focus on what is in your circle. So focus on you and focus on what you can control. You can control that you're doing your intentional IPA every day, right? You can't control if your team is doing their IPA, but they should be if they're following your example, right? So focus on yourself and be your own rock star. Do scary things. Leaders are learners. So if you are focusing on that personal development, every day. Elizabeth and I were talking on the phone today. So you have to develop yourself every day. You have to read a little bit each day. I was going to make a short video about this, and I might still do it just because it'll be like a little short video versus a long one. But we homeschool our kids. We have 7 kids. We homeschool. And so I'm homeschooling my kindergartner right now. If I just teach her, basic repetition every day, ABCs and 1, 2, 3s every day, just a little bit every day, 10 minutes on this, whatever. She's going to learn so much more and so much easier if I do this repetition every day versus, okay, we have not done school in 2 months, and now today we are sitting down and we are doing 10 hours of school, and you are going to love it. No, she's going to hate it. It's not going to be successful. And it's the same way with your business. If you just say, well, I'm not going to read my personal growth and development book, or, oh, it's Thursday night, I haven't read a dang thing, and now it's book club starting at 9:30, it's 9:25, I'm going to speed read through all this stuff. You're not going to get anything out of it. You need to be doing a little bit, 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day is my personal goal. 15 minutes a day, whatever you can do. Something is better than nothing. So do your personal development and focus on just building your leadership skills. If you want to be successful in this business, you have to have leadership skills. Believe me, that was something that scared me a lot. Like, I was like, wait a minute now, I have to be a leader? Like, no, I am not a leader here, And so there are lots of good books out there. John Maxwell has a lot of good books. He's got 21 Irrefutable Laws. He's got 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. He's got Developing the Leader Within You. He's the leadership guru. So like basically anything that he's written, just read it. It'll all help you. It's all really, really good. And so doing things that are scary and getting out of your comfort zone is another way that you can grow. And that will help you in your leadership, and that will help you in your momentum, and it will help you with your belief. So get on Facebook and do some lives. Make a training video. When you are talking and doing these things like what we're doing right now, this is going to help you to grow. Believe me, when I first started, you did not see me making any videos like this. Oh my goodness, no. Like, if you would have told me 3 years ago, oh, you'll be on here making Zoom calls and talking to your team of 100 people and all these things, I would have been like, no, I won't be doing that, So, but you learn, you grow, you stretch. It's important, and it really is so needed if you want to be successful in this business. So add value to others. We hope that this is adding value to you guys tonight, because all of these things that we're saying are super, super important, and they're just all things that we have learned and that the Diamonds have learned that they're passing along to us. So we hope this has helped you. Elizabeth, do you have anything else that you wanted to add in?
It's just pretty funny because when you were like, I don't want to make videos and do Zooms, and I'm like, wait, when can I do that? I want to do that. I mean, I felt like I had to learn something that was valuable to pass on first. I really did, but I was like, yeah. I wanted to do that. It was exciting. So
I remember our 3-way call, our very first call when I met you, and Debbie connected us and we did our 3-way call. And I remember you saying that. I actually have it in my one book, and I don't have it with me right now, but I remember writing that down. Oh, she likes to do training videos that she's good at. You said that on your very first call, and I
did. Well, and I mean, part of the background though is I'm a physical therapist, and I've been teaching for the last 11 years. Mm-hmm. So I teach in PT schools or in PT assistant schools. So it's not completely foreign for me to be in front of people and teaching something. But obviously I'm a little bit more of a specialty in physical therapy because I've been doing that for 16 years versus Plexus for just a couple. But it's that's why this opportunity is so amazing, is that I get to use my science background and my science brain that knows how to interpret scientific data and look at the research and can see, okay, this makes sense. And then the whole people side of it and teaching, really teaching and helping people see their goals. So if someone has had a major surgery, whether they planned on it or not, there is a goal afterwards. Do you want to go home? Okay, do you want to be able to walk your dog? Do you want to be able to walk with your friend again? Do you want to be able to walk the mall? Do you want to ride your bike? Like, what is it that you want? What is your goal? And how are we going to get there? Okay, you're broken here, and you're broken on your leg, and you're broken in your pelvis, and you're broken in your ankle. So let's start with these things, which then we can build on. So it's the exact same thing here. I'm just teaching. I'm relating to their goals. I'm helping people, whether it's a business goal or a health goal, using these products. I am helping them see the value in what we have to offer here. And so anyway, so that's cool. I mean, that's partly too why I did jump in on that. I'm not just like a complete cake.
No, absolutely not. I don't think that at all. I think you're amazing. And so, as you can tell, we like making videos together, and we could literally sit and talk all night long, but we won't do that to you guys because you're probably getting ready in the morning, or if you're anything like me, I'm on stair stepper in the morning and I will watch my videos then. So we fit it in where we can, and we don't make excuses. Mom of 7 here, homeschooling. I can make time for my videos when I'm doing my laundry, when I'm doing my dishes, when I'm doing the stair stepper. Elizabeth, mom of 4, works every weekend, y'all. So we don't make excuses. We just do the things because we have the goals. So yes, hope that's added value to you guys, and we will see you on our next video. Bye.
Bye.